back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Kyla, and today in this video we are going to be talking about all of my most anticipated reads for the end of the year. I have 8 books to share with you today, and this list consists of books that are either new releases or set to come out by the end of the year. Ones that I am so excited for, either that I've been waiting for a while or that I just recently heard about them. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. The first 2 books on this list are actually memoirs. I love integrating a few memoirs here or there, especially for people that I am like super interested in. And these 2 I have been waiting for so long. One of them like over a year now. So the first one is Beyond the One by Tom Felton. I mean, are we surprised? I don't think so. I am so excited for this one. I love Tom Felton, and if you don't know who he is, I'm sorry, what? That's rude. He is Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter series, and so this book brings you through his experience there and also just his life, and I am so excited for it. I love the name Beyond the Wand. I just think that is incredible and so clever. So I am very excited for this one. And then the second one is the Matthew Perry memoir, which is called, really long name, Friends, Lovers, and Big Terrible Things. And I've known about this one for quite some time. I think he released or did an announcement right after like the reunion special on HBO last year, or maybe that was earlier this year. Regardless, it's been a hot minute since he's announced that this is coming out, and it's finally coming out in November, and I just am so interested in this one. I know that he had a rough go of it throughout his life, even on the Friends show, like his experiences there. He talked a bit about it in the HBO special, so I'm interested to see how much he goes into there and kind of if he brings any of the other cast into it, and also just his experience. I know he had, some issues with drugs and stuff like that, so I'm just so curious and interested for this one. I'm a little nervous for it because I love Friends. I love that show so much, grew up watching it, so just the idea of it not being like what it is in my mind, like we got a little taste of it during the HBO special, but for this to go even further into it and his experience, like, it's sad, and I hope that it's not all bad. So I'm nervous, I'm curious, and I'm so interested. Moving on, let's go ahead and go into the thrillers, because there are so many thrillers coming out at the end of this year, or horror, and I mean, how does one choose? I'm very picky these days with my thrillers and horrors though, so there aren't as many as you would probably expect on this list, but we have a few, and the first one is Jackal by Erin E. Adams. This one I've heard is a thriller slash mystery slash maybe paranormal-ish or just suspenseful. That's kind of the tags I've seen thrown around on this one. This one follows a town who has a history of Black girls going missing, and we have our main character Liz, who is coming back to her hometown and for a wedding or something like that, and one of the people from the wedding goes missing, and she starts to uncover things about this town, how so many Black girls have gone missing throughout the years. Sounds like it's going to hit a lot of important topics. It sounds like it's going to be a good thriller slash mystery as she starts to uncover the secrets of this town and what's happening. And there seems to be like this looming darkness something's watching, so I don't know if it's going to take like a paranormal turn or if it's just going to be someone who's doing this, but I am excited for it regardless. I think this is going to take on a more serious tone, but I could be completely wrong, so I'm so curious to find out, and I cannot wait. This one's actually already out. It's published on October 4th, but I am so excited to get my hands on it, get to reading, and see how the story unfolds. The next book is actually already out too. It published on October 4th, just like Jackal, which apparently was a very popular day for publishing books. And this is Malice House by Meghan Shepherd. This is a haunted house kind of story. It sounds a lot like the premise of Home Before Dark. We have this woman who is clearing out her father's residence and finds this book of like monsters or something like that. And that's really all I know. I just know that it's kind of like a haunted house story, but with actual monsters, I think. Which just sounds so fun and perfect for this time of year. I would love to be able to get to this one this month, but if not, at least by the end of the year, because it just sounds like so atmospheric, like the perfect spooky read for this time of year, and I'm totally here for it. And then the next one we have is Secluded Cabin Sleep 6. Say that 5 times fast. Secluded Cabin Sleep 6 by Lisa Unger. This one is set to release November 8th, I believe. And this one follows 3 couples who rent a luxurious cabin for a weekend getaway. And this one comes along with a personal chef, and it seems like the person who rents out the cabin also is very present. And what I love and what sounds so interesting to me about this thriller is that it includes this friend group, this dynamic of couples that we have that is very dramatic. And I love a dramatic friend group. That's one of my favorite tropes. So it sounds like we're going to get that, but also things start happening at this cabin, and then the chef reveals that this cabin has some secrets or what have you. So it sounds almost like a basic thriller, but I will show up for a basic thriller if it includes a dramatic friend group, and that's really what roped me in. So I'm excited for this one. It may not end up being the most groundbreaking thriller or the thriller with the most incredible plot twist, but you know what? I'm here for it. I want to check it out. I want to see what's happening, and if you say dramatic friend group, I'm there. So I'm putting this one on the list. And the last thriller on this list, I literally squealed when I found out about this, and it is 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. I love Holly Jackson. She is the same author as the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, which I loved. I ate that shit up. It was so good. And I was perusing Instagram the other day and saw this pop up and literally did a happy dance. I am stoked for this. It sounds and it looks so Holly Jackson, and if you've read that series, you know, the cover looks incredible and the story sounds so anxiety provoking, like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, that I just I cannot wait. This one is set to publish December 8th, and it sounds like it is going to be a roller coaster, very dramatic, and I'm bursting at the seams to read this one. I would die to get an advance copy of this. It would never happen, but I would just die. This one is following a group of friends who are on a road trip for spring break, and all of their tires go flat, and it turns out that all of their tires were shot out by someone. Excuse me, what? What? Okay. And it turns out that someone in the group, because we have a dramatic friend group again, someone in the group has a secret that a sniper would be willing to go ahead and shoot a group of kids for. And one thing I love about this is it sounds a little bit different, is there's a countdown going on throughout the book to see who's going to survive the night. So it's counting down from 8 hours, 7 hours, 6 hours. It sounds like it's going to be intense, it's going to be a ride, and I cannot wait. This is probably the one that I'm most excited for, because I just love Holly Jackson. I love her writing, and I cannot wait to listen to the audiobook for this, because her audiobooks are always on point. So I might wait until the audiobook is available, which is going to kill me. Let's be real. It's going to be so hard to wait that long, because trying to get an audiobook like that right away, I might have to re-up my Audible just for this. it just sounds like it's gonna be amazing. And I mean, this is the most highly anticipated book. And the last two on this list are two fantasies. One of them is actually already out now, and it's The Witch Hunt by Sasha Peyton Smith. This is the sequel to The Witch Haven, which I'm actually reading right now, and I am only like a quarter of the way through it, and I freaking love this book so much. So I had to put the sequel on the list because I just know that I'm going to immediately want to get into it. I'm going to try to read that this month as well. It has already come out. It came out at the beginning of October, and I just love these characters so much. Frances is such a good time, and Maxine, she's hilarious, love her, and I cannot wait to see where the story unfolds. And then going into a sequel are the perfect witchy, mystery, spooky vibes for this time of year. They are YA, but they don't read super YA. They are still so fun and read so quickly. It's extremely fast-paced. The story takes off like immediately, and I imagine the sequel will probably do the same. So I had to put it on this list. I want to get to it this month if I can, because I just know that I'm going to love it. And the last book on this list is The Cloisters by Katy Hays. This book I saw and immediately knew that I had to put it on the list because the words describing this are like my reading taste to a T. Let me read this for you. It is a fantasy dark academia. Excuse me. I have never heard anything more me. This was compared to like Ninth House meets Secret History, and I am here for it. I cannot wait. A fantasy and a dark academia? Yes! We love to see it. This one follows our main character, Anne, who moves to New York City and thinks she's going to be working at like a normal kind of museum, but she ends up working at this place called the Cloisters, which is a Gothic museum. The atmosphere in this book, I just have a feeling, is going to be impeccable. And while she's working there, she uncovers this deck of tarot cards, and apparently something happens with them, and it just takes off from there. And I really don't want to know a whole ton about this book going into it. You had me at fantasy dark academia, but knowing that it takes place at a Gothic museum and there's tarot cards involved, you're saying all my favorite things already. I don't even need to know more about the synopsis than that. If you want to look it up, feel free to do so, but that's where my eyes stop because I just cannot wait. This book is set to come out November 1st, and I have a feeling that I might put this on my reading list in November. I don't know if I'm going to be able to wait on this one, and it fits kind of in the vibe that I want to go for November, so we'll have to see. There are so many things to read in so little time, so like, we'll see what happens. I probably will have like this massive TBR and then only get to a handful of them, but that's the name of the game anyways, right? But this one just sounds way too good to like put off for too long, so I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. And those are all of my most anticipated books for the end of the year. If you are excited about any of these as well, leave me a comment below, or if there's anything that you've seen that's coming out that you think that I will love, also leave that as a comment. We could use all of the suggestions for each other here. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe if you are not already. Turn on the bell so you never miss a video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!
With you and I, the future